Hey everybody, yeah, it's been a minute, but it doesn't mean the progress is not made. You can always pause. You can always take time to reflect. You can always take time to restore balance, um, to make changes if you need, to feel your emotions, to go through your processes. That's what it takes to be who you are. Remember, we all make mistakes. And some of those want to shield us from making mistakes, where some of those are well needed and they come from a place of love. Have you ever thought that maybe sometimes it doesn't come from a place of love, but coming from a place of, if you do something and make a mistake, or the false move, or you overstep, or you get a little too dirty, it's called life lessons for a reason. And if you don't complete those lessons, you don't become or get the wisdom, the understanding that you need. The saying, a hard head makes a soft, you know the rest. Well, it does. It can soften you up in your heart. It can harden your heart. It can cause you a lot of things. That's true. And there's so many variables, we don't really know what the outcome will be. But if you only go by what other people have done or experienced, and you don't experience it for yourself, those life lessons will not be learned. Ponder this. Yes, certain things you should listen to wise counsel, but there are times when you need the life lesson so that you can understand, so that you can get your strength, so that you can get your power back, so that you can become who you were born to be. Now think back to your earliest thoughts, before any corruption, before anybody told you don't do that, the stove is hot, this, that, and the third. The grease, fat meat is actually greasy. Well, truth be told, some of those things are true, but also at the same time, some of those things you need to go through, because to go through means you can come out. And if you continue to go through, your power is strengthened. You're strengthened each time you go through. Of course, pick and choose. Life roles, lessons, they are truly lessons, meaning there will be the information up front. You'll live through, you'll go through the lesson. But just remember, for every lesson, there's a test. For all a culmination of tests, I'm sure there will be a final exam. For everything in life, if you're able to take it and make it make sense, you don't go into school to not finish. But for every lesson, there's a test. For every quarter or years or however long, there will be a final. But when you pass that final for different things in your life, you'll be glad you had the lesson, the life lesson. Don't ever shy away from making mistakes, because if you make the mistake, you go through it and you're able to come out on the other side, you have the lesson. You have learned. You have learned. And now there's a test that you can pass. There's a final exam that you're going to be able to say, hey, I aced this one. And that's what life is all about. Some lessons you need. And if someone keeps you from learning those lessons, you're not going to be where you need to be. Take heed, but don't forget, for every lesson, there's a test. For a culmination of tests, there is a final exam. And hopefully you can ace your final exam, that you may get just one step closer to being and living a purposeful, powerful, pleasant, peaceful, progress, all purposeful life. All right, y'all. When we